Buenos dias. Good morning, family and friends. And as always, my beloved veterans, it's Emilio Roman coming at you live from the iconic Atlantic City Boardwalk and Casino. And I'm accompanied this morning by our lovely spirited host, Umara.
Lodi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And it's going to be another fabulous show. And I'm loving it. I'm loving all the responses, the guests we got. We have guests like 2 weeks out. Like, who would have figured this, right?
Right.
Who would figure this? So, we're so blessed. Tell the audience who's going to be coming on, many obviously afterwards. Who are we honored to be among the presents today?
I'm super excited to meet this beautiful, beautiful lady. Her name is Melissa Ross, and she's a mindset mentor and a clarity coach. And she's got 20 years in the field of yoga.
Yes.
And she influenced kids, and she's a speaker coach, author. She's running a Rise to Wellness. And what really, touches my heart is that she's running kids programs like from 5 to 9 and from 2 to 9 ages, and their mat chat that she does from her yoga mat and storytime yoga. She also deals with people who are suffering from postpartum depression, anxiety, stress. So I'm super excited to meet her, and she's beautiful inside out.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for that introduction, because I had the privilege to have met Danielle, and I met her, and we really, really love what she does. We really love on her. She's also part of the Magnetic Entrepreneur family there in Canada with Robert J. Moore. That's the relationship with us. And we actually had an opportunity to break bread with Melissa and family. And so she's just an all-around cool person. She really is one of my favorite people. I probably never told her that, but she truly is, for the many reasons that you listed there, like yoga for kids. I've never heard of that. You typically think of a yoga, think of some guy in the mountaintop or like a yogi or something. But I said to myself, my God, how would I have benefit, had I had been introduced to yoga early on with the breathing and breath work? I'm like, things would have worked out differently for me. Like, I just know it because I practice that today, and it's just made a world of a difference. And speaking of that, you know what? I say, let's bring her on. I think she's backstage. What do you say?
Absolutely.
Melissa is an all-around person. I can keep loving on her and talking about her, but she's like, come on, Emilio, I'm here.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for that introduction. What a great introduction.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Melissa, before we get started, given that you do yoga and all this stuff, and we're really fascinated, we want to hear from you. We normally start off the show with some sort of breath work. So, Umara, do you think it'll be timely that if she led it this morning for just
of course we get Melissa to lead it? Absolutely. Go ahead.
My goodness, catch me off guard. All right, we'll do something really simple, actually. This is one that a good friend of mine has been talking about, and we do this at the beginning of our children's yoga classes. We usually take 3 deep breaths with our breathing ball at the beginning classes, and I happen to have my breathing ball right here with me, so I'm going to show it to you. This is our incredible breathing ball that we use in our children's yoga classes, and this is to help the kids slow down their breath. Okay, so I'm going to show that to you. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths, but when we take those deep breaths, we're going to imagine a balloon in our belly, and we're blowing up a balloon in our belly. And we should actually take 10 of these breaths multiple times a day in our belly, doing that belly breathing. It brings up lots of oxygen to your brain. So we're going to breathe. We're going to go with the breathing ball here, and we're going to breathe in, making that belly big, and breathe out. Nice and slowly with my breathing ball. Watch my ball. Breathing
Watch the ball.
And out.
Somebody please take a snapshot of this at home.
In.
I'm loving this.
And out. Good job, my friend. So that's what we would do at the beginning of every yoga class with our kids. And we make sure that we do that in our belly. And we do that a couple of times. We do a couple of rounds with that. But we should actually do 10 of those deep belly breaths multiple times a day, all of us.
Wow, wow. And Melissa, what do you call that again? Is there a
that's a deep belly breath. And this is my breathing ball. It's actually a Hoberman sphere. But this is what I call my breathing ball in class with the kids. Yeah.
Wow. You know what? Do me one favor again, just for purposes of sharing this. If you can go back to that and expand it, and I would love for Daniela, whoever is watching. I know we've got several people. Oh, got the shot. Excellent. There you
got it. All right. Perfect.
Yes. That is. You know what a way to
backstage hero.
How do we go on from here? I mean, this is amazing. Tell us about, I've noticed, I put the scroll down and it says Melissa is the host of both Storytime Yoga for children 5 through 9 years old and families between 2 and 9 years. And then you got the Me Chat. Talk about that. What's going on?
Yeah, so actually I started my children's yoga business under the name Breathe With Me Yoga in 2014. And when the pandemic hit and I had been running, we had about 11 classes a week running, and I had other children's yoga instructors in there with me running classes. And when the pandemic hit, everything shut down. And I myself was struggling with some things with my family and trying to make things work, working from home and having kids all of a sudden in online learning and all that kind of stuff. And my daughter was sick at the same time. And I thought, if I'm struggling with this and I have all of these strategies that I use and you know, I know what to do. Imagine what's happening with everybody else out there who might be struggling and might not have those strategies and might not know the right things to do to get through all of this, right?
Yes.
So I started Storytime Yoga, and it started as just like, I'll run this for a couple of weeks just to get everybody through, because I mean, who knew what was going to happen at that time? We didn't know that we would be going on for months, right?
Yes.
So I thought I'll go live and I'll give a free children's and family yoga class to everybody on Facebook Live for a few weeks. And after a few weeks, when it became evident that this was going to go on for a while, I started running it Monday to Friday, and we've been doing that since March. We ran it Monday to Friday up until the kids actually went back to school in September. And then we moved to weekends, and then we ran an amazing interactive 3-part series on Zoom where we had the kids come in and interact with us. We read an incredible called The Giants and the Smalls, all about reaching your giant potential. And so we've now moved to a Zoom online platform. But that was just, it was a way for me to be in service of all of the families out there and help all of the families out there and help them come together and find strategies together.
You know what? I'm like, wow, this is, I like the way you are communicating this. It's like you're very passionate deeply. And I know that there's people that this is resonating with, because I know Mara, I see the way she looks. She's like, somebody's talking about this. What do we got there, Mara?
Well, first of all, I want to welcome everyone who joined in live. Thank you so much. Daniela is our backstage hero. Fedi joined. Thank you, Fedi. And Jackie Tubins, she joined. So thank you so much for joining. And I have a question. So, you know, with me, because I love what I do, I usually get sucked in my work, and I'm like sometimes working 16 hours in a row. Not that I need to, but I love my work and I do it. So how can a person balance that life, work life and personal life?
You know, I really found, I mean, I do the same thing as a single mom and an entrepreneur. I do the same thing. As soon as my kids aren't here, I dive into the work and I'll work 12, 16 hours to get it all done, so that I can focus on my kids when they're here. So it can happen to all of us. But I've really found that if we find certain strategies that we know we can implement throughout the day and we make a routine of it, we actually hold ourselves accountable to that routine by maybe time blocking it in a calendar, or doing it together with someone else that will keep us accountable to it, or joining an accountability group where you check in every day to say, my My strategies have been done today. I've done whatever, whether it's meditation in the morning, whatever it is. I find that when you hold yourself accountable to that, or have somebody else help you hold yourself accountable to that, it's easy to get those things in. And the types of strategies that you can start with is just that morning breathing. You can get up every morning and make sure that you do those breaths or do certain stretches every morning. For me, it's meditation. Every morning I get up and I do my half an hour meditation, and that's how I start my day.
You know, I thank you for that. And I have a VIP coming through here. Just wants to say hi to you. Let's see if this person is there. I don't know. I don't know where they're at. They're coming in to say hi. Where? Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, man.
Hey,
Hi,
how are you?
Daniela.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's good to see you.
Oh, she's frozen.
Yeah. She has this problem. We're gonna have to with the phones, but she wanted to say hi, Daniela. She'll come back here in a second. Hey, but let's all do this for Daniela. All right, love. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna exit out. But hey, she made the cameo appearance, didn't she? That's what's called a cameo appearance with celebrities. I just want to say hi. All right, so let's just go ahead so we don't so to honor her and remove from stream for now. Awesome. So you were saying that you do this for half hour. Is that like your go-to like daily?
Yeah.
You do for yourself?
For myself, every single day, I've lots of strategies that I do for myself every day. So every morning I get up and I do a half an hour meditation, which includes breath work. It starts about 10 minutes of breath work first, and body awareness, and then breath work, and then my meditation. It's a half an hour total. And I journal every single day. And you and I have talked about journaling, Emilio. I journal. We've talked about journaling gratitudes.
Yes.
And so I journal my gratitudes every night before I go to bed, because that kind of anchors it in at night, and I wake up with those gratitudes in my head every morning. So it starts the first thing I wake up is I know that those gratitudes I wrote down the night before. So
you know, thank you for bringing that up. I just started doing this 2 nights ago. I did use something before through my recovery groups. I say take moral inventory. You know, did I harm somebody? Did I hurt somebody? And I go through that. But because of Austin J. Haynes' event, I started to do what you're saying, and I asked the question, what's the question here? What went right today? Like just that simple question, it blew my mind. And I started doing it because a lot of times when we're going to bed, and you could speak to this, don't we like the mind is like, oh my God, what would I have to do? And so I found for the last couple of days doing this, like it just made a shift by me just asking myself, what went right today? And then I started to realize I was on number 5, 6, 7, and 8. So is that kind of where you go with it, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, I actually have 4 different journals. So I have an intention journal where I set my intentions, and that's where I write my wins. So at night, I'll write my wins every night. So, and it's the same concept as what you were just talking about. It's writing down everything that I won at that day and that went right that day. And then I have my gratitudes, everything I'm grateful for. I have a manifesting journal. And so everything that I've manifested out of my intentions, I write those down too, because that anchors in the celebration of manifesting everything you're setting intentions for and everything you're working towards. And then I have a regular everyday journal where I work through things. So you were talking about working through things and being in recovery and all of that. That journal is just specifically for writing down thoughts and feelings and reframing that in a positive way and working through those feelings.
Wow. Melissa, how can people get a hold of you? Because I want to make sure those people that are coming through, they're getting to work, but they're like, oh my God, I don't got time to come back on this. Just give them your contact info, the best way to get a hold of you.
Yeah, they can email me at melissa@risetowellness.com, or they can check out my Linktree link, which is www.linktr.ee/Melissa Ross.
Thank you. And please, someone who's out there, just go ahead. And I know we've got some faithful viewers that will always go ahead and do that for our guests. So I always appreciate that. We're very humbled by that. Sorry, my connection went bad. Oh, that was Daniela. So go ahead, Umara, because I know Umara was writing.
Yes. So, Melissa, I have a question. You mentioned that you help people with postpartum depression and stress and anxiety. Please tell us a little bit about that and how yoga can help people and how you help them.
Yeah, and I do lots of things with that. So first, I work with women who are struggling with clarity and struggling with depression and anxiety and all that as moms and entrepreneurs and strong women out in the world. But I also coach families. So a lot of times when kids come into my children's yoga classes, I notice that parents will come in and say, "Well, my child has anxiety or my child is stressed out and they're doing this, and I'm not sure why." And when I talk to the parents, I find out that the parents are experiencing that too at the same time. So it's a whole family affair. It really is. And I talk about this so often. So I bring families in to help families navigate that with their children and find strategies that work for them as a family. But I also do that for free on Mat Chat in a group setting. So every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard on Facebook, I sit on my yoga mat and I have a certain topic that I usually choose, and I welcome tons of comments and inspiration on what topics everybody wants to hear about. But I pick that topic and I interact with people. And I know Emilio's been on Mat Chat and has incited some wisdom on Mat Chat as well. So I really interact with people on Mat Chat there and talk through those things.
I love it. I'm telling you. I mean, if you're seeing Melissa, if you're part of my tribe here and you've never met Melissa, we're going to encourage you to connect with her. I have to check in with her. Are you accepting any new friends on Facebook?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yep. Come on.
All right. Excellent. Because I know I was talking with some people yesterday. And they're like, they max out, and they were like, I put a request in, and they were like, I'm not really accepting anyone right now. So we want to. Awesome. So that is awesome. Could you state again the times that you do this? Is Monday, Wednesdays, or what? Is it every day?
No, Mat Chat is Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So, and it's also, if you miss it Thursday nights, you can check it out on YouTube. And it's also, I play on a radio station called Niagara Community Radio on Fridays in the 4 o'clock hour. So Mat Chat will play, and every couple of weeks we have an interview with myself and the host, Sam Macbeth, as well. Yes. And so you'll get some more insight during that when I have a one-on-one chat with Sam on Fridays as well.
Yeah, Melissa, and you and I, we've had little pockets of conversation, but the most time we've all spent together, well, I think we saw each other at the Guinness Book of World Records, right?
We did. We're both Guinness World Record holders.
That's right. Yes. So Melissa and Daniela, Daniela really, really loves you. She's just, let me just comment. Can you comment on what she said, and then I'm going to pick something else up.
Yes. So Daniela said that I could see within minutes of meeting her what a sweet, beautiful, compassionate soul she is. We shared a lot in that one weekend.
Yes.
I love her. I just love her.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you so much, my friends.
Yes.
I feel the same way about Daniela and you.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm telling you, it was just like where your heart's at, and it just irradiates, you know what I mean? It radiates who you are. Like they say, they say that we convinced by our presence, right? Walt Whitman, that's a quote. You can tell when somebody walks in without them even saying something. And Melissa is that person. And she and I were I was trying to connect with her. And so we couldn't, but now to bring her on, and I'm so glad that we're here honoring her. And I wanted to say that there's just so much going on that I just want to be a part of your journey, because you're going to hear a lot about Melissa. It's just one of those feelings I got. She's impacting and influencing people in a big way. When I say a big way, because she's starting off with the little ones. You see that? So her impact I believe it's going to come from this new generation of kids that are going to be able to handle things better, just because Melissa really is teaching them how to meditate. And the one thing that I'm drawing the connection with is you just spoke about how when the kids come in and say, here's my little Emilio, he's stressed out, he's got ADHD, and then you get to meet with them, and it's all about projection. They're projecting their things on, and then these kids have the same transference. So projection and transference is what I got from what you said earlier. So you're really not just working with the kids, but you're really taking a holistic approach.
Absolutely. I'm working with the whole family, and I think it's so important for the whole family to be on board together. And I mean, I've seen that from so many different sides. I struggled with anxiety, and that's where my experience come from. So I had postpartum depression and severe anxiety after my daughter was born in 2011. And because I had struggled with that, when my son in grade 1 started to struggle with anxiety, I could relate to him. I understood it from a place of knowing, right? And I could see, I could just read on his face when he was having anxiety, because I came from that knowing place. But his dad had never experienced it before. And it was so hard. He tried, but it was so hard for him to help him navigate. So if you're not aware and you've never experienced before, as a parent, it's really hard to help your children navigate that. And it's really hard to notice that. But at the same time, if you're not aware that you're having those feelings and those issues yourself, you're not going to be able to come out of that and rise out of that and move out of it. It's just going to be a continual circle.
Wow. We got to have some comments.
I want to go in the comments like teary eyes. Daniela's saying it would be more like, here's a little Emilio. He's always talking. He needs to stay quiet and meditate. Just joking.
And you know what? I'm so glad that Daniela said that, because one of the biggest things I hear in our youngest class, with our 2 to 4 year olds, is the parents are so worried that the kids are going to get up and run around in yoga class. And is this okay? And what if they don't pay attention? But you know what? Little Emilio coming in that talks lots, he's going to be absolutely amazing at yoga, because he's going to engage and he's going to be listening, and he's going to be, it doesn't matter if the kids are running around. They're still listening to the yoga poses. And even if they don't do them in class, they go home and they teach them to their parents at home, and they show their parents how to sit down and breathe and what a breathing ball looks like. And they beg to have a breathing ball at home, and they do, and they become engaged. So maybe it doesn't look like they're taking it in, but they really are taking it all in and learning.
Wow, thank you for that, because thank you, wifey, for putting me on blast. What a segue, because you really hit it on, and I've heard this said that children, by the time they're 7, like even with our grandbaby, he's already talking like a few languages now. He's Spanish and he's learning a little bit of everything. And so by 7 years old, as I understand it from studies, that's when the kid is really, they're absorbing everything. Just when you don't think they are, they're absorbing everything.
Mm-hmm. I've heard 80% of all of their belief systems and their personality and how they are by the time they're 7, 8 years old. Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that something? And we just had little baby Tomas. We'll share this. Probably like last month. As adults, like I'll slip with the expletive. I don't know, mommy or daddy, whatever. But they were driving the car, and he was in the back seat, and baby Tomas said something. And, it's kind of hard to tell him, like, don't say that when you're saying it, right? He's just modeling, right? They call it modeling behavior. So
absolutely.
Wow. So I love that you're saying that you take that ball, and when you show that to the kids, it's like playtime. And because it is so appealing to the eyes, even as an adult, when you were doing it, I was trying to get in sync with it. I was like, so I caught myself doing that. And what a beautiful tool. Now, is that something that you sell too, or?
I do sell these. I do sell them as well. And in our interactive 3-part series that we just had, we gave a couple of balls away, and they've just gone out to the people that won our contest. But what I'll also say about this ball, one of my favorite things to do in a longer class, I don't do it in Storytime Yoga because it's only about a half an hour class, but in a longer 45-minute to an hour class with a little bit older kids, like in the 5 to 9 class, and with the teenagers that I have come in, this is a great tool for discussion, because as they're breathing, they can breathe in all of the wonderful, amazing things that are happening in life, and they can breathe out into the ball all of the things that they're frustrated with. And when they hand this to their friend beside them so that their friend can take their turn, they can throw it up in the air. And I don't know if I'll be able to show you this on camera. No, I can't, because when you throw it up, it starts to open, and they can throw it up in the air, and all of their frustrations can go up out into the air. So they don't need to worry about those frustrations anymore. And then that opens conversation with the kids to talk about things that they're frustrated about and things that they're excited about. And I'm telling you, I have conversations with kids that they won't tell their parents that are happening, but they open up in class with this ball.
Melissa, I'm going to tell you right now, there's people right now to include myself, I'm about to buy one of those things. So you better tell me where I can get it from you, because I'm gonna go buy it somewhere. Please tell us where we can get it from you. Because now you sold me on it.
If you can contact me at melissa@rice2wellness.com and I'll get you hooked up.
Okay, good. Because I know, is there anybody out there, put their hands up, so that Melissa, we can find a way to connect to you, and we're not getting any proceeds from this. But I know that Melissa sold me on the idea that I need a ball, so just to keep me reminded, and it'll be a great way to teach my grandson about the breathing. So if anybody has their hands up, make sure that you connect with Melissa, because it's just good karma that if someone introduces you to an opportunity or business or something, that you go ahead and honor them with that purchase. This is just my personal belief. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love, and Daniela says, I need one.
Yeah.
So Preeti Chopra joined. Thank you so much, Preeti. And Tracy's saying, little eyes are always watching.
They're always watching and they're always listening. Little ears are always listening.
Yeah, and she says, yes, inventory is great and highlight all good things that you accomplished during the day or the week, and giving yourself the thank you, the great job we did to encourage ourselves. We need to encourage ourselves. It's great to go hard in all we do, but we need to be kind and be our own cheerleader too.
Wow.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I want to know, Melissa, since you're working with children, how are you like as a child growing up?
Oh, goodness.
You weren't expecting that question.
I wasn't expecting that question. You know what? I was a very happy, fun-loving child. I'm the middle child. So I was kind of, I think, the more responsible one. You know, you have the wild child baby, and they say the middle child is that like prim and proper one. I would think I was the prim and proper child. But into elementary school and high school, I was the nerd. I had braces and glasses, and I was like a bookworm and in the school band and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
I was the cool one.
That's so awesome.
That's beautiful. And when did you get into yoga yourself? It was after your postpartum or before?
No, I've actually been practicing yoga for a lot longer than that. I started, and it's so funny. Back when yoga started, it was this little, like, it was a fad. It was a boutique fad. It wasn't really about, when I first joined, it wasn't really about the spirituality or the breathing techniques or what it was doing to your body and de-stressing. It was kind of like, oh, it's the fad. And I joined a yoga class, just kind of like, oh, that sounds funny. Let's join it with some girlfriends. And I did that in 1999. That was my first yoga class. And so I had joined that out in Dundas, Ontario, in this little yoga studio out in the woods. It was an incredible experience. And from there, I told my mother about it. I told my mother about how incredible this class was. And my mother found this incredible yoga instructor who's become my mentor. And I met him in 2000, so 20 years ago. And he's been my mentor ever since. His name is Bert Peters. And he's out of Grimsby, Ontario. And I was taking his class. I've been taking his class in St. Catharines for 20 years. And he was one of the pivotal people that helped me through my postpartum depression at the time and my anxiety. I remember him, sitting down after class and chatting with me after class. And, I'll never forget. And I talk about this in my book. I just published a book. I co-authored another book outside of the Magnetic Entrepreneur series called Adversity to Adaptability. And it's with the Certified Coaches Federation.
Oh, wow.
And I talk about it in my chapter there. About how I sat down one day just defeated with this postpartum depression, and I was in such a low, and I didn't know how to find out. I just didn't know what to do. I knew that I just wasn't comfortable where I was, and it's something needed to change. And I sat down and had this conversation with Bert after yoga class, and he looked at me and he said, you just have to take the next step. And I said, I don't know what that means. I don't understand. What do you mean I don't know what the next step is. And he said, it doesn't matter what it is. He said, just take the next step. He said, you're going to get up from here. And the next step is you're going to walk to your car. and then you're going to get in your car,
Mm.
and then you're going to drive home, and you're going to go to bed, and tomorrow morning you're going to get up, and that's your next step. So he said every minute of every day, it doesn't matter whether you know what the next step is, just take it. Just take it. Just get up, get dressed, brush your teeth, and just keep going. Just keep taking the next step. And that conversation was so profound for me because
Yes.
I knew I didn't have to have the answers. I knew I didn't have to figure out what it is. I knew I didn't have to figure out how to get out. I just had to get up and take the next step.
Wow. Wow. Get up and show up. I mean, oh my God. I'd like to get somebody write that in the comments. And that gentleman is did you still stay in contact with him? Is that
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. He's still in Grimsby, and I've been taking his classes since 2000. He's an absolutely incredible mentor and yoga instructor. Obviously, with the pandemic right now,
Yeah.
it's been difficult to stay in touch with people like that. He doesn't have online classes. They're all in person. So, but yes, I do keep in touch with him, and I still take his classes.
he has an open invitation. I mean, so if he was interested and he wanted to connect with us here in the U.S. and our broadcasting are starting to slowly inch up, I would love to have him just based off of the impact that he's had on your life, and I know that I'm going to remember that. Just take the next step. Doesn't matter what it is. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yep.
Absolutely. So, Umara.
I would like to honor a few comments here. Preeti Chopra, she said, deep core breathing connects us to divine source energy. Deep breathing clears away toxins and rejuvenates our body. Absolutely true. And Daniela said, what Melissa is doing for kids is so valuable. Another big bear quote. Another big bear wisdom. He used to teach us in reference to raising kids, you have to bend a tree when it's small, the way you want it to grow. Once it's grown, you can't bend it anymore. That's so wise. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's right. And the key to having kids involved like that as a family and getting them involved is explaining to them why we do it, why we're doing what we do, and inviting them to do it in their own way and allowing it to be their idea and allowing them to do it how they want to do it. So especially with meditation and with breathing and all that, I mean, I get the kids in with this ball, right? To get them
I love that. You got me mesmerized. Look.
Well, and it's not just the breathing, it's slowing down the breath. Like you're looking at that ball, you're going to slow down your breath, right?
Yeah.
So we start with that, with the breathing with the kids. But then when we talk about meditation, my own kids, they meditate as well, but they understand that it's about raising your vibration and they understand what meditation is doing for them.
Wow.
And they see real life examples from me, the things that happen and things that are different in your life when you meditate. And they know if their vibration is low and whether they haven't meditated and they need to go do their meditation, and they're motivated to do their own meditation. So my daughter, for 10 minutes in the morning, she'll just sit silently with herself in the quiet for 10 minutes before she gets out of bed. My son, every day at lunch, will go and do a 7-minute guided meditation. He has a little app on his phone and he does a guided meditation. So everybody's different, but they've been allowed to explore and find their own way and what works for them.
You know what? Thank you for sharing that. I'm making a prediction right here, right now. This is just one of those divine downloads. I believe, because I haven't seen this done out there, and maybe you can correct me, but I really believe, Melissa, that you're going to do this on a global. And I'm not just saying just like on the internet. I'm saying like there's going to be a network who's going to find you, and they're going to put this on, because the ripple effect of what you're doing goes beyond than just a cutesy show. I mean, you are really changing people's lives on the most fundamental level, and we see bullying, we see all this stuff. It all starts somewhere, and these kids feel like they have no outlet, and just like you mentioned, the parents come in stressed out, anxiety, fix little Johnny, but they're freaking stressed out. So even if Johnny did get those tools and, like, what happens? So at least you're making an impact, not just there in Canada, but I know and I predict that your stuff is really going to go international.
Oh,
Just saying.
thank you so much.
Good.
You know what? And that's my hope. My hope is to make a global impact with children and families.
Amen.
My motivation is to be in service to everyone and help everyone. Where, I mean, I struggled. I struggled as a brand new mom. And even though I had the yoga background and I had those strategies there, I struggled coming back from postpartum depression and that anxiety. And I struggled as a new mom figuring all of that out and figuring out how to keep that part of me and keep that identity and also teach it to my kids and have it be a part of a family. I struggled with how that worked. And I love that you brought up bullying, because oftentimes we talk about the bully and we tell our kids to stay away from that bully on the playground. Well, just stay away from them. They won't bother you. But you know what? What will change that bully and what will stop the bullying is to actually befriend the bully and talk to the bully and figure out what the bully needs, because the bully is a bully because they're missing something. They probably have it going on at home. They're not getting the attention at home. They're feeling like they're in victim mentality. They're not feeling good enough. So they're bullying to make themselves feel good and find what's missing inside of them, not because they want to be mean.
Wow. You know, can I share something that just came to me? Wow. And I got goosebumps. And I don't know if it's because of what you're saying or it's because I'm outside in the cold. Right? It's one of those two, right? So, but when you said that, it just, a memory triggered when I was in 6th grade, and I had this guy. I was never much of a fighter, you know, just what I was never that, contrary to popular belief today. I had a kid in 6th grade. I remember the class like it was yesterday. He just came and just punched me in the arm. And he was the biggest bully in class, right? Biggest bully in class. So people normally back down. I remember just like knowing I was probably gonna get my ass kicked, but I just stood up to him and I was just like going like this. Tears are coming down my eyes, but I didn't back down. And the teacher broke it up right in time. So I say this to say this. I say that to say this. Years later, probably about 5 years ago, I never forgot that experience. And I ran into this gentleman, and I remembered him immediately, but he didn't remember me. And I was like, and he actually was very helpful. I was getting a car tire repair or something in that space. And I said, hey, you don't remember me, but we went to school. Or hold up, did you remember me? We went to school together. He was like, nah, man, brother, sorry, I don't remember you. I said, well, and I just kind of told him, I said, yeah, you know, back in the day, you were a little. He goes, I know, man, and I'm sorry. I've changed my ways. So, but you know what I mean? Like, here I held that memory of that bully. And for some reason, just seeing him brought that back to me. But luckily I had tools, you know, and he was a different person and I'm a different person. And I don't know, what you just said, that this bullying back that we're talking about. Just sharing that memory.
And it does make an impact. Absolutely. It does make an impact. And I had the same thing. I had a bully when I was in grade school. I believe it was grade 8. And, you know, I've already said I was overweight. I had braces. I was a bookworm. And it was kind of the new girl that had come into class. She had come in mid-year. And I just remember she just made fun of me nonstop and bullied me nonstop. And I never did anything. I never tattled to the teacher. I never gave it back to her. I just sat there and took it. Now, I didn't stand up to her either. I was shy at that time. Today, if that was happening to me, I would have spoken up and said something.
Yeah.
But I was too shy to be able to do that. I didn't have those strategies when I was in grade 8, but I didn't do anything either. I wasn't aggressive with her. And I remember our grade 8 graduation, I won this award. And I went up to get this award, and she came up to me afterwards at the graduation, and she apologized, and she gave me a huge hug. Wow. And I never knew at that time, I never knew in grade 8 what that impact was for her, really what that meant for her, right? To be able to do that.
Wow, look how things come full circle, and wow, what a blessed time. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this conversation. What's going on out there? Anyone have anything? Because I see 7 and it was climbing up and forth, back and forth. Does anyone have any questions for Melissa?
Well, Daniela is saying that yes, exactly. A bully usually does what they do because they are missing something. They have insecurities and are underdeveloped on the inside. Having compassion for them can definitely turn them around. And Preeti is saying they have the biggest hearts. They sometimes have the biggest hearts. True.
Wow.
Karen, and she's also another yoga practitioner. So she's saying, Amen, Melissa. Left foot, right foot, breathe, and the how does not matter. Just move forward, and the plan will fall in line. Anilda is
Awesome.
saying, as a disciplinarian, oh, I can't pronounce this word.
Disciplinarian.
So embarrassing. Yeah.
Okay.
Where children were in confrontation with each other, I would assign them to have lunch together as many times as they needed to work out their difference. That would be that would be consequence, but turned into rewarding experience for all involved. People need to learn to talk and work out their differences. True.
Amen. And Melissa, I want to honor you. I know you've got the kids there. How much time do you have? You have a few more minutes? Or are you ready to
Yeah,
go?
I have a few more minutes. I just looked over because I've got one just getting up out of bed.
Yes. So I want to honor you. If you can respond to those comments, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah, I love the idea of the disciplinarianism and putting the kids together. That really spoke to me because something that I have heard about happening in the States in particular is mindfulness rooms in the schools. And so this is something that has intrigued me for years. Instead of detention rooms, they have mindfulness rooms. And so any child that might get in trouble and might get sent to detention instead gets sent to the mindfulness room for so many minutes, right? And they are sent there to sit down, and whether it's meditation or breathing or just sitting in quiet, they're sent there to sit with themselves and be mindful. And so something we always talk about, especially in relaxation at the end of our yoga classes, is about being in tune with our body. And it's so important to be able to sit with yourself in that silence and know what your body is feeling. Because most times when those things are happening, we're so fired up and we've got the energy pumping, and we don't know what our body's actually really feeling. If we actually just sat down in silence and we recognized and paid attention to where our body was feeling things and what was happening in our body, we would be able to figure out how to move forward in a calm way. So those things, I applaud that person. I don't know who it was who said that, but she would put them sitting together. That those things are so important, and sitting in silence or sitting with that person, and really, whether it's in silence, maybe they ate together in silence for a couple of times before they actually talked, but that time together and the time in silence and mindfulness with our body is so important to healing and recovery.
Melissa, thank you for that. Only because Melissa's got to go, but I want Melissa Daniela, can someone take a screenshot of this? I want us and I want us all. So Melissa, you lead the silly pose, because you can't leave this show without the silly pose.
Oh my goodness, I don't know about silly poses. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Ready?
I love it. Come on, ready? And I love it. Tell me somebody got that, and if they did, hey, yes, I will. Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay, Melissa, listen. Do you have a question for Melissa before we close? Because her kids are ready to go.
Yes, Danielle is saying it's amazing that you make this available to your children and they achieve it. I wish I knew this concept when my son was growing up. He was bullying for many years, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And looking back, neither did I. Karen is saying mindful rooms are magnificent. I have had honor to teach yoga and provide meditation for elementary school children, and I was totally awed at their want to participate. Kids are hungry for this. Anelda is saying, we need to talk, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, we are so in sync. I
Yes.
instituted the time out programs in several schools and would help children with mindful breathing. So that was Anelda who said disciplinarian.
Yes.
I said the word, yay.
Oh,
you know
that's
what?
awesome.
Thank you so much. Anilda is retired from the school system in Philadelphia, so she'll be a great resource for both of you. Can both lean on each other.
Yeah, so I welcome everybody to contact me and get in touch. Friend me on Facebook or send me a private message, melissa@rise2wellness.com, or a message on Facebook. or check out that LinkedIn page that that Linktree page, Linktree/Melissa Ross, that will show you how to get in touch with me.
And awesome. And Karen Drowsness, you should be connecting. Are you connecting with my girl, Karen, known as a goddess? Are you?
I don't think I'm connected, no.
Okay, well, you are now. She's part of our spiritual fitness family, and you ladies have a special connection. I already see it. So, Umara, do you have anything? Final words?
Well, thank you so much for sharing everything and doing what you're doing, because this is so beautiful. Because I remember growing up, instead of calming down or whatever, my parents or teachers would just, so this is so beautiful. And it leaves a great impact. And you were talking about parents and their impact on children. It even impacts animals, the pets that you're having, for anxiety and stress. So great work. It needs to go global, definitely. And thank you for all the wisdom, and thank you for sharing today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here. I am so honored to be on the show today.
Thank you for gracing us. God bless you. You have a blessed day. Say hi to the little ones for us.
Thank you. I will.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. How cool was that?
That's such a great work she's doing. Like you said, Emilio, if every school, every child knew how to control their emotions by breath work, this world, like when they grow into adults, even for their families, it's going to be so different. It's a ripple effect, it's a butterfly effect, right?
Yeah, there you go, the butterfly effect. God bless you. I'm telling you, I've got to meet Melissa, and we got to break bread together. We're part of that whole Canadian family that we built such a network of families, really, that we love going to Canada. I can't wait for the borders, the doors, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to be in Canada. Danielle and I are going to be in Canada every 90 days. Our spiritual fitness brand has really taken a hold in Canada, and the best is yet to come there. We sponsor some shows out there. We're going to be doing more of it, and I just love it. And of course, now, I'm sorry, who owns chapter 1 of the 3rd edition?
Me.
There you go. So we're going to be talking about that a lot. We're already the things that are happening when the borders open up. You're because you're part of the 3rd edition. Anyone who's part of the chapter, anyone who buys a chapter into our books, automatically gets 3 days of the Atlantic City experience, all expenses paid. We've already got that locked down, April 9th, 10th, and 11th. So we're just hoping that and praying that everything continues to kind of, self-correct itself, and the borders open up and people take health seriously. So, yeah, so this is exciting. I'm meeting up with another potential co-author this morning at the cafe, and we're just so blessed. We're so blessed to be connected. Guess how we're all connecting? Through our what? We're all connecting through our, starts with an S.
What are we all connecting through?
Yeah, through our own
her hearts, to our
hearts, but our stories are what connecting all of us. That's right. So, like Melissa, we met her because she was in a co-authorship with Daniela at the Magnetic Entrepreneur, and they also shared. Daniela, correct me if I'm wrong, but Serena Brown Travis, I believe all you ladies were in Les Brown's daughter. We were all on stage. In fact, I was the MC for the event. And Serena Brown, I shared the stage with Serena Brown Travis. We both gave Robert J. Moore an award. I think that she said we all connected through our stories. Thank you. But there's just so many. But now I'm coming into a residential home. I'm gonna keep a little quiet. But listen, I'm so blessed. What do you want to leave people with today? What's the message?
You caught me off guard there today.
No, it's okay. Listen, there's a lot going on.
I want to leave with everyone with connection, and I'm grateful for COVID and the connection that it has triggered. Mm-hmm. And they say never let a crisis go to waste. And I think that's what people are waking up to, and they're connecting more, either online, sharing stories. On the weekend with Austin, we what we did, it's the vulnerability that is bringing us all together, because we're realizing that no one is perfect. everyone is vulnerable in one way or another, and
Yes.
that vibration connects everyone. So that's what I want. I'm grateful for everything that is happening present because it's increasing connections and it's increasing love.
Yeah. Now, listen, thank you so much. So everyone out there watching, thank you for coming on, and please continue to share this information, and please continue to connect with all my friends. I keep telling everybody, my Facebook friends are real.
I'm just gonna say a few comments before we leave. Is it
Go
okay?
for it.
Okay, so Karen is saying, looking forward to read your story, Marlo. They welcome the SSF. Thank you so much. I can't wait to share my story with all of you. As
Yeah.
good as it sounds, COVID was a blessing in disguise for all of us, and we just have to see it.
Wow. Thank you, Omar, for that. Listen, all blessings, and let's continue to stay healthy. Let's continue to pray if that's what you do. Continue to send good vibes to the universe, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. All right, all
Woohoo!
right, Omar. Let's just say bye to everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Emilio Roman. I'm America's #1 spiritual fitness coach.
My name is Anilda Davila, and it's an honor for me to know Emilio Roman. I met Emilio through Austin James to be part of his co-author network project, Spiritual Fitness Survivor. And to me, it was like a divine connection.
Hello everyone, my name is Ivy Perez and I am a certified transformational life coach. Now I believe in the power of vulnerability, and over the course of the past year I've been sharing my journey, my story on social media, and Emilio Roman actually reached out to me because of doing that and asked me to share my story, and becoming a part of the co-author network and becoming part of this book, the Spiritual Fitness Survivor book, not only has given me a platform to share my story, it has given me the ability to voice my journey, voice my story so that I can empower others to do the same.
Emilio has done a lot for me. This is actually the second book that I'm in, and it has been an amazing experience, all because of him. So the first one was a great experience, but when he approached me about doing a book with him, that was a no-brainer. Not only is he great at the publishing and doing the book, the support and tips that he gives you along the way are amazing. Even if you're not looking to do a book deal, if you're looking to grow your business, if you're looking to grow yourself and just be a better person, Emilio is definitely the guy that you want to follow.
Hi everybody, my name's Karen Drosnis, and I am a co-author in this magnificent book, Spiritual Fitness Survivor. I met Emilio Roman through a really good friend of mine, and immediately our energies connected. He is extraordinary at what he does, and trust me, you will never feel alone when you work with Emilio. I happen to agree with a good friend of mine, Bridget, who says, even if you would choose not to write in the book, Emilio is someone you must know. I had been planning for a long time to share my story with everyone and the world of overcoming traumas. And then the next thing I know, I just opened my hands up, and guess who jumped in them? Emilio Roman. Thank you so much, and please connect with Emilio. He is beyond amazing.